Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Let's continue our series Intro to SQL Structured Query Language. In our last class, we understood how to handle big data sets with BigQuery and SQL. Let me give you a small recap. First, we understood how to import BigQuery so that you can use the BigQuery commands. This is a web service by which you can connect to a bigger data set. Okay, so that you can get all those data which are required for your purpose. For that, you have to create the connection with the data set, with the particular table lying in the data set. For that, you use the BigQuery. We discussed these things in details. Okay, and then we learned how to create any client object, how to create reference, API request. Then we can see what are the tables lying in the data set, right? We can print the tables. Then how to connect with the table. Once you can connect with the table, now you can fetch the data. And now for fetching data, you have to use SQL commands, structured query language commands. Okay. So now from this class, we will understand how to, let me just go back, how to work with the table. Okay. Now, let's read. First, we will read, then we will do the exercise. Now that you know how to access and examine a dataset, you are ready to write your first SQL query. As you will soon see, SQL queries will help you sort through a massive dataset to retrieve only the information that you need. Exactly what I said, that whatever information you need in your table, you have so much information, but maybe a chunk of portion you need. For that, you have to use this query so that you can access those data. We will begin by using the keywords select from where. These three words we will learn today to get data from specific columns based on conditions you specify. For clarity, we will work with a small imaginary data set. This is a small data set, and we are going to use this table. This table called pets. Name of this table is pets. Here you can see there are three columns and one, two, three, four rows. First column is about ID, then name, then animal. Now suppose this table is existing in some data set and you have used the BigQuery to connect with this data set. So your part is done. Sorry, connection part is done. Now you have to fetch the necessary data. Maybe you want to know what is the name of the animal, sorry, what is the name of the animal which is rabbit, or the names of the cats. Okay, you may not need the complete data. This is a small table, but your table may have big collections of data and you want something particular depending on some condition. Okay, so in that scenario, you have to use the SQL commands. So first to select only those values. Suppose you want to see the name only. So you have to write which column you want to see after you give the select statement. First, any SQL query will start from the select statement. Okay, and this is the most basic statement. Now to do this, specify the column you want after the word select. Okay, the column you want to see. So that you will write after select. Then specify the table name. You have to tell that from where. There may be many number of tables. So you have to particularly mention that you want to see from the table aids. Okay. So select. Okay. What to select? Name. So you write select name. Now, from where? From the table, from pets. Okay. Now, see the example. For instance, to select the name column from the pets table in the pet record database, our query would appear like this. This is the data project that we learned in our last class. This is the BigQuery public data project. And there you have a database pets record. Inside the database, you have a table pets table. This is the table. Fine, no problem. Now I want to see the name column. Okay, the name of the animals. So what will be my query? Now it is query equal to, you can write in this way, select name, because this is the column name. So select name from, then you have to mention the table name. Here as we are mentioning that the project, inside the project there are some database, inside the database there are some tables. So you have to mention the complete path. Or in single word we can say that we have to mention the table name. Okay. So this will be the output. See, only name portions because you have written select name. So this will be your output. Fine. Now note that when writing an SQL query, the argument we pass to form is not in single or double quotation. Or it is in backticks. This one they are talking about. That don't make it the mistake that this is quotation. It's not a quotation, it's a backtick. This is just before one in your keyboard. Okay. Now next, where? BigQuery datasets are large, exactly. So you will usually want to return only the rows meeting specific conditions. You can do this by using where clause. As I said you, suppose I want only those names where the animal is cat. I don't want the name of the dog. I don't want the name of the rabbit. So I am giving a condition because there may be many more animals. I just want only the names of the cat. So here as I am giving the condition, I have to mention it after where clause. So I have to write select what I want to see name from the table name where animal equal to cat. This is the condition. What is the condition? That animal is cat. Animal is the column name, cat is the value. Okay. If I want to see the name of the dog, then it will be animal equal to dog. All others will be same. Animal equal to rabbit. If I want to see the name of the rabbit. Okay. Now, what are all the US cities in the OpenAQ dataset? Now that you have got the basics, you have got it. Let's walk through an example with a real dataset. Fine. First, we will set up everything. We need to run queries. Take a quick peek at what tables are in our database. Let's revise the complete thing we learned in our last class. First, you have to import the BigQuery. Then you have to create a client object. You have to create a reference. This is the project name. Now you have to create a API request. You can see now all the tables in the dataset. Okay. So, see, these are the table names. Okay. Now, this dataset contains only one table called global air quality. Uh, Okay, now you can print all the table names. There is only one table, global air quality. Okay, so it contains only one table. We will fetch the table and take a peek at the first few rows to see what sort of data it contains. Let's click it again. So, to preview the first 5 lines of the table. So first 5 lines, if you see, then you will have a sort of idea about what the table has. So for that, you can write in this way, list underscore rows. This function will list the rows, table, comma, table means this one. You are talking about global air quality table. Max result equal to 5. So you want to see first 5 rows. Okay, and then you write 2 underscore data frame. What does it mean? You can say now it will be converted into a data frame. Okay, see. So you can say that there is a location, city, country, pollutant, value, timestamp, unit, source name, latitude. This is your table. Fine. Now everything looks good. So let's put together a query. Say we want to select all the values from the city column that are in rows where the country column is US, United States. That means select. See here, you can see the keyword select all the values from the city column. So you want to select this one. Fine. That are in rows where they are providing you a condition where the country column is US. Okay. So they have told you that select all the values from the city. So you have to use select city. This one you want to see. Then they are providing you a condition. What is the condition? Country is US. So the condition where country equals to US. And from you have to give the table name. So the query is select city from, this is the table name. Whatever your table name is, you have to provide the name within the backticks where country equal to US. This is the condition. Okay. Why US is in single quotation? Because it is a string. So that's not a question. Fine, you understand? So select is the keyword to show the names you want to see, to select the items you want to see from, then table name. You have to give the condition after where. Fine. Uh, okay. Submitting the query to the dataset. Now, we are ready to use this query to get information from the dataset. As in the previous tutorial, we understood that you have written the query. Now, suppose if you want to submit the query so that you get the data, for that you have to connect it by using client object, and then you can pass this query in this way. Once you have created the client object, you have to write client dot query and then send this value. This is what we have written here. Okay, so this one, that is the value of this one, will be passed on here. Okay, so now it will store the result. Whatever the result is, it will be stored here. Fine. Once it is stored, you have to convert it to the data frame, pandas data frame. So you convert it, then you can simply print it. Now we have got a pandas data frame called US underscore cities, which we can use like any other data frame. Now this is a data frame. For you, this is a data frame. So you can do anything on the data frame. Like they have shown you what 5 cities have most measurements. Value counts function. This function used to count for the value. Now as it is a data frame, so you can apply the value count function for that. Anything, any function which you can apply on a data frame, now you can apply on US underscore cities. Okay. So once you get the data from the data set and you have converted into a data frame, now it is a data frame. Now you can use it for doing any kind of research. That's what they wanted to say here. Okay, fine. Now more number of queries. Suppose you want to select multiple columns. Then what you have to do? You just have to write all the column names giving a comma. But all others are same. If you want to select all the columns, then you have to use star. That means every column of the table will be printed where the condition is matched. Fine. Now here and one more thing is that here you can see that these are in capital letter, but it is not a mandatory. Okay, this is for readability. You can easily see that after select you are giving the column names. After from you are giving the table name. After where you are giving the condition. So it's for readability, but it doesn't mean that you have to write it in capital. Nothing like that. And these quotations, means that here everything inside this is a string. That is why you provide the quotation. That's what they have said. That everything inside them is a single string. Even though we have line breaks, these line breaks are not necessary, but they make it easier to read your query. If you want, you can write all of them in a single line. Select star from where in a single line you can write. Okay, that space but is not mandatory. This is good for readability. Next, they have said no SQL does not care about capitalization. However, it's customary to capitalize command and it makes your queries a bit easier to read. We have discussed. Here nothing to read. Now they have given you a query. Let's do it by yourself. Query to get the score column. You can understand you have to select the score column from every row. Okay. Where the type, they are providing a condition where the type column has value job. So where type equals to job. What to do there? We have to select score. Okay, so select score from where? And these things are in caps, not mandatory. The table name is in backticks and the condition is in uh, this format. Okay, and all of them will be written in this single quotation, but you can write them in a single line. Just like read them in a single line. Okay. For your better readability, we have given the spaces. Fine. Now you can connect and add them. This is fine. Uh, this is also okay. These are just BigQuery commands. Now try your new skills. First, as usual, to set up the this one. Fine. Now let's run this first. First, import BigQuery, create client object, connect with dataset, then connect with the table, then create API request, preview the first 5 lines and convert it to a data frame. Everything is done. This is the table about location, city, country, pollutant, value, timestamp, unit, source name, latitude, longitude, average, and location geometry. Once you get familiarized, then you can do the exercise well. Which country has reported pollution levels in units of ppm? In the code cell below, set first query to an SQL query. So unit equal to ppm, and you have to select the country name. So they have given for your easy usage. Okay, let's first copy this, paste it here, and we want to see country. Okay, from this data set where condition is different. What is the condition here? Unit equals to ppm. So select all those country where the unit is equal to ppm. Let's run this. Now they have set up the query. So BigQuery dot job config, first query job API request to show the result. This will show you the result. All these things they have given. Okay, we just have to write the query. That's what our main objective is here. Okay, so here every unit is in this way, but there are some countries which have given in units of ppm. So I just want to see their names. This is AR. You got the right countries. Some countries showed up many times in the result. To get each country only once, you can write select distinct country. See, here you can see that as the entry is more than once, that's why the output is also more than once. But if I write, this is also a keyword. If you write this one, then you can see the changes in the output. See now ARILTWCOEC. Okay. As AR was coming 5 times and I just wanted to see the first few rows like this few rows. For that it was AR all the time. Now as I have selected distinct, so every time the names are different. All these countries have given units in ppm. Okay. So our main focus is that understanding this one. Select country name, column name from where you want to get the data, then where condition. Okay. And distinct is just for taking the distinct values. Okay. Now, high air quality. Question is which pollution levels were reported to be exactly zero? Set zero pollution query to select all columns of the rows where the value column is zero. Okay, now set this to a pandas data frame to containing the query result. Fine. I think second part also you have to do. Okay, fine. Now let's delete this one. Okay, so now you have to write select all columns. All columns you have to select star. Fine. Next from the table name I will copy this. Okay, select star from, and what is the condition? Where the value equals to 0. Value equals to 0. Okay, now if I run this, then Okay, the error is you have to run this one also. Run the query and return the pandas data from. See, you have to create the API request. They created here, but this time they are telling you that you create. Okay, let's copy. So final results equal to zero pollution results equal to, we can write query job. Here the name is query underscore job dot to data frame. Okay, this is the name. That's why I'm taking this and converting it into a data frame. Let's see the result. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's see. We have got the result. You can see that all the columns where pollution levels are exactly zero. See, there the pollution levels are zero. So location, city, country, pollutant, value, timestamp, unit, source name, latitude, longitude, as you have given star. That's why this is the output. Okay. If you want to know the city only, suppose, or if you want multiple columns like city and country. Now if I run it, then only those two columns will appear. Okay. So simple. Here just condition is value equal to 0. So we have got it. Now maybe it will be show as incorrect, but you can see that this is the output. That's what we wanted to see. Now the query was not too complicated and it got the data you want. But these select queries don't organizing data in a way that answers most interesting questions. For that we will need group by command. If you know how to use this, is similar. I think you know how to use in pandas. If you don't know, no worries. We will read line by line. So BigQuery works quickly for far larger dataset, and that's next. Okay, so next we are going to learn about group by command. So what we have learned as of now, we have learned what is BigQuery, how to connect it with any database, then how to fetch the data. Now for fetching, we have learned some SQL commands. And what are the keywords we have learned for now? Select, from, where. Select is for selecting, from is from which table, where you provide a condition. If you want to take multiple columns, then you have to write the columns name separating by comma, right? And if you want to see all the colors, then you have to give star. Exactly. And if you want to see distinct column names, then you have to write the distinct keyword. Okay. So select from, where, how to select multiple columns, and distinct keywords. All these things we have learned as of now. In the next class, we will learn how to use group by commands. Okay. So meet in our next video. Till then, bye. Happy learning.